Okay, should be starting.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is County Court at Law number 6 and the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court via remote. And we're having Zoom pleas today. I see a non-VTC plea on Ms. Ariel Delgado, cause 633-205, represented by Mr. Paul Vasquez, and 2 Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 plea and probation agreements, cause number 628-039 and 628-040, State of Texas versus Crystal Saucedo, as represented by Judge Joanne De Hoyos. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to identify some documents I have in front of me. Starting with Ms. Delgado, I have a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, which purports to have your signature and your attorney's signature on it. Is this your signature on this document, Ms. Delgado?
Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Vasquez, as attorney for Ms. Delgado, is this your signature on this document?
It is.
Thank you. And Ms. Saucedo, I have 2 documents for you, both entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, one in cause 628-039 and one in cause 628-040. Is this your signature on each of these documents, ma'am?
Ms. Saucedo, please answer.
Can you hear me, Ms. Saucedo?
Yes, I'm sorry, I had to unmute. Those are my signatures.
Are these your signatures on each of these documents, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Judge De Hoyos, are these your signatures on each of these documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Saucedo in cause number 628-039 and 628-040, and Ms. Delgado in cause 633-205. I'm holding in front of you documents entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purport to have your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Ms. Delgado, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, it is.
And Ms. Saucedo, is this your signature on each of the 2 documents I have, one for each of your cases?
Yes.
Thank you. By signing these documents, are each of you telling me that you've had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety? If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorneys, so that in signing these documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on these documents. Is that correct, Ms. Delgado?
Yes.
Is that correct, Ms. Saucedo?
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez, as attorney for Ms. Delgado, have you had enough time to go over this case with her? And in your opinion, is she mentally competent?
We have gone over the case just as recently as yesterday, going over the paperwork, and she is mentally competent.
Mr. Hoyle, same question for you on both of Ms. Saucedo's cases.
She has, and I believe she is competent.
Ms. Delgado, are you a United States citizen, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Same question for Ms. Saucedo.
Yes.
And Mr. Vasquez, as attorney for Ms. Delgado, has the state fully comply with discovery for you on this case?
They have.
Question for Mr. Hoyle with regard to both cases for Ms. Saucedo.
Yes, Your Honor.
In Ms. Delgado's case, is this actually start out as a DWI first, or are y'all reducing it?
DWI first, Judge.
All right. Ms. Delgado, charge of DWI first offense, how do you plead now?
No contest.
Is there an agreement for Ms. Delgado?
Yes, Judge. It is 16 months deferred adjudication, a $500 fine plus court costs, 48 hours of community service, DWI education, DIP, CAT-SNP, and Smart Start Mobile for half the term.
And Mr. Vasquez, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Judge. I did inform my client yesterday when speaking with her about the ability to pay off the 48 hours of community service. If she chooses to go that route, probation, I'm assuming, will provide her with the correct agencies who she can donate to.
Correct. Is this 48 hours of community service or 40 hours?
48, Judge.
48, got it. Okay. Mr. Delgado, the court accepts your plea of no contest. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt. Place you on 16 months, deferred adjudication probation. That's a $500 fine plus court cost. 48 hours of community service, which you can either perform through the probation department's recommendations, or you can donate $10 an hour to one of the court charities, and we'll provide a list of those to you and your attorney. DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, and Smart Start Mobile home breath testing device for 8 months. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Delgado?
Nothing, Judge. I'll let my client know as well that I'm assuming Susan's going to be talking with her right now to go over.
I will explain what needs to be done, Mr. Vasquez.
Okay. Ariel, you stay on and she'll let you know what to do, okay?
Will probation
Thank you.
contact her, Pat? What's the current standard operation?
Yes, okay. Ms. Delgado, probation department will be contacting you within 48 hours.
Okay,
If you do not hear from them, you need to call. And if you have a pencil and paper, I can give you where you need to call and what you need, who you need to ask for.
okay.
Let me ask the state before we leave Ms. Delgado's case. Is there something aggravated about this case that you wanted 16 months time frame instead of a year for the probation period?
I think there was a crash in this one.
It's a single vehicle, Judge.
Okay. So there's no restitution or anything we need to worry about in that regard.
No,
No,
not at all.
Judge.
So we're glad Ms. Delgado's okay. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Delgado?
Nothing from defense.
Good luck, Ms. Delgado. Thank you, Mr. Vasquez.
Okay, Ms. Delgado, the phone number you need to call is 210-335-7200 and ask for intake. And it is your responsibility that if you do not hear anything within 48 hours from probation, you call them. Okay?
Okay,
All righty,
Yes.
Okay.
thank you.
you're excused.
The next two cases I have are about 628039 and 628040, both of whom are Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 pretrial diversion. Each of these cases has the same document I just read to Ms. Saucedo. I didn't need to read it twice. Is that okay with the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So with regard to cause 628039, the charge of unlawfully carrying a weapon, how does Ms. Saucedo plead?
Ms. Salcedo, you have to plead guilty. Part of the deal, remember?
Yes, guilty.
Okay, my paperwork for some strange reason says I hereby enter a plea of not guilty. I assume that's a typo.
I hope so, but she's pleading guilty, Your Honor.
We need to correct that on the original if in fact the original depicts that. So cause 628039, the court accepts your plea of guilty. Hold it in abeyance. Places you on 1 year, Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 1 pretrial diversion. Assessing a $1,000 Veterans Treatment Court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, outpatient drug evaluation and follow-on counseling through the Veterans Administration, Smart Start Mobile, home test breath testing device for 6 months, requiring your successful completion of the VTC, issue judge's bond, defendant to be supervised by CSCD and VTC staff, this case to run concurrent with 628040. Is this a handgun?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Judge.
What kind of handgun is it?
Smith & Wesson SD9.
Smith & Wesson what again?
SD9. And also, Judge, there was APSC attached on the UCW and a motion to forfeit the weapon.
Yes, that was explained to her, Your Honor.
Okay. What I normally do in these cases is ask the state if it would be okay with them and the defendant also if I award the handgun to the defense counsel with additional attorney's fees instead of destroying it. This is not a real high-end handgun, but it's okay. State, do you have
I did inform her that that was what you were going to do.
all right, state
No
that.
objection.
All right. Then the handgun will be awarded to defense counsel with additional attorney's fees not to be returned to the defendant, her family, or her friend. Anything further from the state or the defense on 628039?
Did you get the APSC, Judge?
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not. Apologize. Let's see what else I missed. Yep. Okay, that's everything I think on 628039. Any other further discussion on this case?
That's it, Judge.
All right, and clause 628040, Ms. Saucedo, to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense, how do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
And state, is this a first offense, actually?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, good. The court accepts your plea of guilty and clause 628040, hold it in abeyance. Places you on 1 year Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 pretrial diversion, assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive Veteran Treatment Court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service, DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Veterans Administration outpatient drug evaluation and follow-on counseling if necessary. Smart Start Mobile home breath device for 6 months APSE course, requiring successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court, issue judge's bond, defendant to be supervised by CSCD and VTC staff. This case will run concurrent with 628039. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Salcedo and 628040?
Nothing further from the state.
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo, what did you do in the military, ma'am?
I was in the Marine Corps. I was an ammunition technician.
Did you go to the war?
No, sir. I stayed in 29 Palms where I was stationed at.
Okay, well, we'll just say for the record that you were keeping Al Qaeda out of California. Would that be fair?
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right. Anything further from the state of the defense on either of Ms. Salcedo's cases?
Nothing.
No,
further.
Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Salcedo, welcome to the Veterans Treatment Court. Thank you for your service. Ron,